Alrighty, good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. I'm Fox 19 Now First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart here from the Streaming Center on what is another chilly day. Now, it's not as cold as what we've seen the last few, right? We're on the up and up as we work way through the rest of this week. By the time we hit Thursday, not only are we above the freezing point this afternoon, but by Thursday, we're back into the mid-50s. Very warm, little breezy, and that's going to lead to a chance for some storms to return to the tri-state. So enjoy the lull, I guess, while it lasts, because it does look to be a little bit of a messier end of the week. Not wintry messy, which we'll take, but definitely wet, and it's going to slow things down a little bit with a little bit of localized flooding. The reason being, we still have a lot of this snow still sitting out here. That's a live look back towards the new Cincinnati sign there on the convention center. We have a lot of the snow. Some of that's going to melt today. Some will melt tomorrow. Anything that's left on the ground Thursday will increase the chances for some localized flooding. That is what we're keeping an eye on as we work our way into the day Thursday. Let's talk some numbers because, you know how I like the numbers. Let's talk 59%. 59%, that is the amount of snowfall we've seen so far compared to normal. We are only 18% into our typical snowfall season, start date to end date. Right, 119 days typically. We're only 18% into that, just 3 weeks into our snowfall season. And we've already picked up 59% of the annual typical snowfall. 22.7 is normal. We've already picked up 13.4 inches. So we are well ahead of schedule when it comes to our annual snowfall here in, for the season here in Cincinnati. Well ahead of schedule, and that number, 13.4 inches of snowfall puts us at number 3 all time for a season through December the 16th. 13.4. We're not too far off of 1917, and really not too far off the all-time record back in 1989 either. We've seen an abnormally cold and abnormally snowy start to our season. It's not even winter yet. Winter begins this coming Sunday. If anybody ever has any questions, it looks like I didn't get that one to play on Facebook, but everything else should be up and running. Anybody ever have any questions, go ahead and shout them out here on Facebook. I'll be sure to check on that as we go on through here on what looks to be some good news, some bad news in there. We're counting down the days. I told you that winter begins this coming Sunday. That is just 5 days away. This is the final weekend. Not that I probably need to remind you, but if you didn't know, this is the final weekend before Christmas. So if you have any last-second shopping to get done, the weekend is improved. It looked like Sunday we'd see some showers outside. It's just a slim chance now. Most of the weekend looks dry, and then we'll see our next chance of rain after this Thursday coming in early next week. So last-minute Christmas shopping, anything you need to get done outside, chores-wise, outdoor stuff before the in-laws come in. You can get that taken care of here this weekend. Christmas Day under 10 days away, and we only have 15 days left of 2025. You're running out of time to get those 2025 resolutions taken care of. If you put it off this long, it's probably not going to happen. But, hey, there's still 2 weeks. You can still teach yourself how to make bread in 2 weeks. Let's see. Angela, does that mean we're getting more snow soon? Nope. Nope, not the next 10 days. We'll talk about that and the Christmas chances here coming up in just a bit once this computer decides it wants to cooperate. All right, so we got some gloom outside. Despite the gloom, again, temperatures on the up and up. We started yesterday in a lot of spots below zero. That's where we started the morning. It's our coldest morning, one of the coldest of the year, but definitely the coldest of the season so far. You can see there in the far distance, if you squint, some of the tractors going around trying to get some of the snow off the track. For the horses out there this afternoon. They have one whole lap done. Some of the horses need exercise out there despite the cold temperatures. We're up to 30 degrees. Started off below zero yesterday. We're up to 30 now. Compared to this point yesterday, it feels like, not even feels like temperature, just the actual air temperature is running more than 20 degrees warmer in most spots. So a little breeze right now making it feel like 22, but that breeze is beneficial. It will eventually win out and push us back most spots into the upper 30s this afternoon. And despite not seeing a lot of sunshine, that will still be enough to get a lot of this snow to melt away. Off to the southwest, a sign of things to come, 39 in Evansville. That's where we will, in a lot of spots, end up topping out. That was weird. I thought that was going to go into a regional temperature change. There it goes. Computer's been funky on me all day long. Well, let's see what else we got going on. So, white Christmas chances. No. Angela asking about if we will have a white Christmas this year. I'm not seeing it. and I'll show you why here in a second. The chances are looking pretty minimal. And by minimal, I mean about 0.0%. JD asking about, let's see, Canton tomorrow morning. It is cold, and I'm doing great. Always hungry. I'm running low on coffee. That's about how much coffee I have left, and even that is watered down, so we're in trouble here in the next 10, 15 minutes that I'll have of the stream. So running out to go get more caffeine. That's the temperature difference compared to yesterday. I mean, most spots here anywhere between 15 to 20 plus warmer than yesterday. So the big warm-up is on, and that warm-up will continue right into Thursday ahead of the arrival of our next storm system. And it will be a storm system, not a winter storm, but actual storms. High pressure, as you can see, off to our southeast right now. Just far enough away that the clouds are out there right now, and we're in a good spot because we're on the backside of that high. Now, this is not where you want to be in the summer months because that means it's usually funneling in that very awfully humid, hot air for the summer. But this time of the year, we'll take that southerly breeze. That'll warm us back up. It's pushing temperatures up right now, and we'll get in the upper 30s today. 40s tomorrow, 50s by Thursday. Our next storm system is still off the west coast. That one arrives, though, quickly into Thursday and brings us the next best chance for some stronger storms. How strong, you say? Well, it's just a low-end threat, but it's not a zero threat. And these are the threats you take seriously because when you see severe weather threat in the month of December, that's nothing to shy away. We don't typically see a lot of severe storms or severe weather in the month of December. It does happen. We've had tornado outbreaks before. I don't think this is a tornado outbreak, but there is a chance we could see some damaging wind in a few spots, especially in our southwesternmost communities. That's where the biggest threats will be. Let's zoom in there for you and show you some of the communities impacted by that marginal risk. Anywhere from Vevey through Williamstown. We'll zoom in a little further and get a few more towns maybe to pop up for us, or it's just not going to cooperate at all. Man, this weather computer hates me today. All right, Williamstown, New Liberty, anywhere in Owen County, the entire Owen County there, Monterey, New Liberty, all under the marginal risk. Southernmost portions of Grant, southwestern Pendleton, Carroll County, all under it, Carrollton, a little bit of Gallatin County, and southern portions of Switzerland County there, all under that marginal risk. It's that green shaded area. It's just a 1 out of 5. But again, month of December, 1 out of 5 hits a lot harder typically than, when you're not expecting it than a, springtime 1 out of 5. So something to keep an eye on here as we work our way through the day Thursday. Before we get there, we're back into the upper 30s today. We'll start to melt some of that snow today. Tomorrow, we're back into the 40s. We'll melt a little bit more tomorrow. And what is still left on the ground, hopefully we can get a fair amount of the snow out of here and melted and drained today and tomorrow. The reason being, whatever's left on the ground combined with over a ½ inch of rain, likely through the day Thursday, outside of any stronger storms, that could lead to some flooding concerns. So that's what we're keeping an eye on into Thursday. Those storms are likely. In terms of timing, mostly through the afternoon and evening hours. That's the best chance we could see a stronger storm, especially southwest of town. And threats, damaging wind. That's going to be the biggest issue with this. Can't rule out some small hail. Of course, that localized flooding threat, I think, will also be a problem if we still have some good amount of snow still lingering in spots. Most areas about a 1/4 inch to a ½ inch. We could see some higher amounts, especially in any stronger storms that roll on in. That'll be late Thursday evening. Here we go on the weather timeline. Tourist here asking about how long is this above normal temperature trend anticipated to last. Now, I'm going to get there. But even the 8 to 14 day outlook still looks to be a scorcher outside for the rest of almost this month. So we started the month of December with the big cool down. We've been running well below normal. We've obviously had 10 inches of snow. It's been a mess. We kind of just flipped that upside down by the second half of December, which is unfortunate for those of you who want the white Christmas. I know we don't see a ton of them. And you think with 10 inches of snow, the odds would have been good to have a white Christmas, not when that 10 inches of snow falls in the first half of the month, and then we see nothing but rain in between. So, unfortunately, I think just about all that snow will be gone by Thursday night and Friday. Now, there's the storms rolling through just after sunset Thursday. They will push out of our easternmost communities about 10 to 11 o'clock per the latest guidance. And then early Friday, temperatures are going to start to tumble. We'll tumble all Thursday night long. Friday, we're sinking like a rock, and we'll get all the way back down into the low 30s. I can't rule out a few flakes flying Friday, especially early in the morning, but it's not going to stick. And that's as close as we'll get to the white Christmas this year. Let's see. So answering the question again, how long is the abnormally warm temperature trend anticipated to last? For the most part, the next 10 days at least, we're going to be running above normal, with the exception of Friday here. That's going to be our cold day as temperatures really drop. behind this, and then working our way back into the weekend. By Saturday, we're back into the 50s again. Molly, hello from Pleasant Plain. Yeah, little heat waves sweeping on through. There are heat wave roller coaster. You do have some ups and downs in here, but for the most part, the next 10 days, you'll see it here. Most of these temperatures are going to be running above or well above normal, which is completely different than where we started the month. Saturday and Sunday, here's the good news. Both days for the shopping, both look to be in good shape. A little gloomy at times, but the rain chances then hold off until Monday. Can't rule out a few flakes on the front end of this. Again, not sticking. We'll see some rain take over Monday night into Tuesday, and then your Christmas Eve, a little gloomy, with a high temperature in the mid to upper 40s, and Christmas Day itself, some spotty rain showers. So a wet Christmas, not a white Christmas this year. So Santa not feeling right at home, but, it is what it is. So Brad has made the naughty list for sure this year, delivering a wet Christmas instead of a white Christmas. Many areas between now and the next 10 days, about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. Some spots could see an isolated, higher total here or there, especially if you get stuck in one of the stronger storms on Thursday. If we do see one of those, that chance is pretty low. But it's not zero, so it's just something to keep an eye on. And you combine this with the snow melt, the snow that's already on the ground, and that's where we see the localized flooding concerns here in the Ohio Valley. Here's your temperature trend. Tourist, I think this will answer your question. These next two graphics, that's the next 10 days. Today we are at normal. Tomorrow we're normal. Well, I'm not normal ever, but tomorrow, temperature-wise, we are normal, right on par for where we should be, 43 degrees. We're back above normal by a significant chunk, more than 10 degrees on Thursday. Same with Saturday. Sunday, we're above normal. Monday, by that point, we're above normal. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, well above normal, right? It's just that Friday that sticks out in this case. That's the only day the next 10 days now that we're going to have below normal temperatures, and even that is still above the freezing point. We have not been above the freezing point here in Cincinnati since Saturday morning. We've been running well below that and significantly below in a lot of spots. With that, we've seen some snow, just nasty temperatures, but we're going to make up for it a little bit as we round out the next 10 days. Next 14, even less promising in the white Christmas department. Just about everybody here in the country, with the exception of the far northeastern corner of the country, going to be seeing above normal or well above normal temperatures. That runs all the way almost through the end of the year, through December the 30th. So 14 days, still expect to see above normal temperatures. Here we go in your 10-day forecast. I'll make this nice and big so you can see it on the mobile devices, or at least a little better. 37 outside today, back above freezing with a little bit of snow melt. Tomorrow we'll see more of that snow melt, and then whatever's left will be wiped out on Thursday. A few flakes on Friday, not going to stick around, but temperatures will be dropping from the 50s through the 30s all day, and eventually we'll end up in the 20s Saturday morning, but then the winds quickly turn around, and we're back into the 50s again. So, if your sinuses haven't had some problems yet, just wait. Saturday we're back to 50. Sunday is the first official day of winter, astronomical winter, right? That's the one we go with. In the meteorological world, we started on December 1st, because it makes more sense that way. But when it comes to, I get it, the winter solstice, astronomy, all that kind of stuff. That is on Sunday, first day of winter, shortest day of the year when it comes to daylight hours, daylight time, which is like 9 hours and 20 minutes or something. I forget exactly the time, 9 hours, 23 minutes or something. We're getting close to it. But that is just a couple days away, and then we work our way into the week of Christmas. Monday, Tuesday, temperatures start to rebound again. We're back to 51 degrees Tuesday. Little cool down with some clouds, some gloom on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day itself. The spotty shower chance at a high temperature of 55 degrees. So a wet Christmas, not a white Christmas. When it comes to statistics about Christmas, we only see one once about every 5 years or so. That's the norm for us. About once every 5 years. Slightly higher chances when you work up to like Dayton and Columbus because they're a little bit farther north. Same with Indy. But for us, it's about once every 5 years, about 20% of the time. I don't have any more comments coming in, which is always great. Usually that means I've answered most of your questions. Let's see. Tourist, holidays or not, have some outside projects. I'm happy. Yeah, the long term looks pretty good. It looks above normal. There are some, definitely some things I could get taken care of too. I'm still not doing it in 37 though. 43 outside with just a slim chance for a shower tomorrow, and then better storm chances on Thursday. That is our next first alert weather day. You have been alerted first. Slim chance for storms, a lot of rain, localized flooding. That's our biggest issue in the near term. Other than that, just stay warm on Friday. Enjoy what looks to be a pretty pleasant weekend for the most part. Plenty of opportunities to get some outside projects taken care of. And then we're back to 55 again, one of our warmer days coming in on Christmas. Can't rule out some upper 50s there for Christmas Day, but we will see a chance for some showers there too. All right, that'll do it for me. I'm going to go hunt down more coffee and or food. And got to work a little bit on this winter weather special, which is, as of right this second, is still scheduled for the 27th, which will be exciting. That's why I was out yesterday freezing all of my limbs off over at Perfect North Slopes. Yeah, a little bit more on that probably to come, but if you want to tune in for that, that'll be on the 27th. I'll have more details on that on my Facebook page. If you're not following it, by the way, thank you so much if you are, but if you're not, here's how to get there. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. There it is. Thank you so much to everybody, because I looked just a few minutes ago and I saw that it's over 23,000 people now. 23,000 gluttons for punishment. I mean, it's really grown this year. I think you guys really appreciate all of this bad news, so I'll keep that coming. That's on Facebook there. Just search my name. It'll pop up pretty quick. It's Brad with 3 A's and a D on and weather there on Instagram, on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. And then Instagram is Call Me Brad, where you can see me post videos freezing the last couple of days. You'll see that, maybe whatever else is on there. More personal things, me drinking coffee, me eating food. That is all on the Instagram. So, yes, warmer weather is good news. Bad news if you were hoping for the white Christmas. I know you know, if you would have told me at the start of the month or even, last month that, hey, December, we're going to see 10 inches of snow, you know what I said? This is probably the year we see the white Christmas happening. Yeah, but it's just not. It's just going to wash away. It's bad timing. Definitely could have seen a ton of snowfall for Christmas, but it just came in a little too early this year. Yeah, follow me on all those. Thank you again to get me to 23,000. That is one of the most in this market, which is incredible. So I appreciate that. I'll keep the bad news coming. Some good news in there too. And we'll see you again today at 3 and 4 o'clock. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice day.